It's just
I'm not done.
You're not going to get the result you want at that moment, but you know what? We can work towards it. We can accomplish it. It might not be right now, but you know what? We can take the steps to get you there.
That's what I'm talking about, see?
All right. What did you ask him? What are you guys talking about?
What separates me from...
Oh, okay, what makes you best? Yeah. He's good. He is good. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Badass Agents Podcast. I am your host, AZ Araujo, and this podcast is brought to you by AZ and Associates Real Estate Group. Make sure to follow us on YouTube under Badass Agents, and also rate, subscribe, and review. We need those reviews from you, and every week we're getting more and more listeners. Of course, we're always here to provide great content to help you grow your business. Today, we have a very special guest. I like to call him the rookie sensation for AZ and Associates in 2019. And we have rookie sensations every year, which is amazing, right? And then we have those that just fell a little short of that, but they're all in the running to get that coveted spot. Today, I have Mr. Rodolfo, Rudy, Fito, Pedro, Flores. What is going on, brother?
I had to throw them all in there, huh?
I had to throw out. I know your middle name. I know your mom's maiden name. Dude, I had to throw it all out there. It just takes so many names to be able to contain a person like yourself, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Bro, I am excited to have you here.
That's
You're like one of those individuals that if you don't know Rudy, like anytime he's in a room, you just gravitate towards this dude. His energy is just so abundant, man. And it's a really good, radiant energy. Right. And I want to thank you for continuing to lean in, man, because your business is taking off. And I love that. Like, from my perspective, dude, I love seeing that. And right now, man, you're on this path of hitting these great goals and ambitions. Right. Yeah. You're on track, man, to hit over $6 million in sales this year alone. $6 million. Yeah. Now, for those of you that don't know about real estate, right, it takes an agent an average of 5 to 6 years to even get to that point. And Rudy's able to do that now in 1 year, which is the collapse in the time. But of course, with every great success, there's a lot of things that were dark and hurting, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go ahead and start there. Like, how did you get into the space of real estate? You were with a team. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, initially, I started off working for a real estate team in a different brokerage. Mm-hmm. And just because I really wanted to see what the industry was like, you know, I had confidence in the fact that I've always been a hustler.
Yeah.
You know, I always
From a young age,
I always figured, yeah, definitely, man. My dad had me working with him since I was like 10 or 11 years old.
Yes.
So, I mean, that the work part of it wasn't something that I was intimidated by. It was more so I just wanted to see what it really takes to be, you know, successful in the industry. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I started working for a real estate team.
And what were you doing there?
I was actually an inside sales agent, which they had me cold calling people, you know, from 9 to 5 essentially.
How did you like that?
It was cool.
It was okay.
It was a learning experience, man.
Of course.
It was definitely a learning experience. Definitely a lot of rejection, which I think is it served a big part in my growth process. Mm-hmm. Because obviously everybody wants to win all the time, but at the same time you have to learn that rejections are just or turn downs or losses are just part of the process too, and meant to be there to help you grow. Mm-hmm. You know?
So you're there, you're in this place, and you decided to get your license, or did you already have your license at that point?
No, I didn't. I was actually working for a different company, even outside of the industry, before I decided to get my license. Okay. And the only reason why I even thought about getting a license is actually because my parents do nonstop. You know, they sit there and watch. God, what is that channel? Where Flip or Flop?
HGTV.
Yeah, HGTV. Yeah. They're sitting there watching Flip or Flop, $1 Million Listing, and they're just watching like, Mijo, I really think that you would be great to be a real estate agent. Like we can just see you there. And you know, at first, man, I was just like, oh yeah, you guys are, we'll see, whatever.
So good.
But man, over time, you know, just really looking at it, I had friends who were already in the industry. Mm-hmm. Actually, I had friends who were in this brokerage already too that you know I had conversations with, and it just started to become like I guess a little bit more clear. Okay, like this is something I want to do.
So you got your license and you're like, okay, I'm with this other company. Now, was this always part of the plan coming to A's and Associates, or how did that occur?
Man, initially, when I was with that team,
Mm-hmm.
the plan was to stay with that team.
Of course.
Initially, but and this is why I fully believe, man, like God works in mysterious ways. I actually came across yours and Carla's podcast and videos through Facebook, and like I said, I already had friends who were already in the brokerage as well, and just over time, just listening to you guys, watching your videos, you guys kind of spoke to me, especially
right.
in the spot that I was in at that time. Like I said, a lot of different things going on, whether it was, me getting my license, going through a lot of stuff in my personal life.
Yeah.
And it was just like God sent almost, man. Like it was just put right there, and just listening to you guys. Like I said, it was kind of like you guys spoke to me. And I just kept telling myself through the whole process, I'm like, okay, I don't know when I'm going to be there, but that's where I want to be.
That's where I want to go.
Yeah. And
so just the messages we were talking about, right? And we have real and raw conversations, and it becomes even more prevalent as you come into the circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into the doors of A's and Associates, but we don't hide anything when it comes
sugar-coated
it isn't
at all. And
as a matter of fact, there was a situation where how you were one of our coaching calls, and I completely triggered you to a point where you were like, "F AZ, F this place," right?
Because I even stopped showing up for a few weeks, man. I was like, you know what?
And it was never meant for me to hurt you in any way, but I always saw something, I saw something greater, just like, the people around you. I'm sure your spouse saw something greater for all these years, but we were attached to a certain story of, it's somebody else's fault. Yeah. And when I simply called you out on that, it's like, hey, listen, you're not doing everything possible for your marriage. You're not doing everything possible for your business. Of course, it's going to trigger certain individuals, right? Because I'm speaking to the truth. And it's like, wait a minute, how does he know that? I know that because it's in my mind, but how in the hell did he see that?
I was telling you, that's not what I said. I said it was the other person's fault. It's not my fault.
It was my wife's fault.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
It's just, the economy's fault. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
So I understand that sometimes, it's never meant to, demean you or to disrespect. It's always because I know what's riding on it. Yeah. You rising up as a powerful man, as a powerful businessman, there's just so many upsides to that. There's so many benefits. But when somebody decides to play smaller than that, the consequences are grim. Big time, right? Yeah. And during that time, there was some problems in your personal life, in your marriage, and guess what? We were able to have those real and raw conversations because I've been there as well. Yeah. And it's always a constant challenge to try to, continue to grow a marriage, to continue to grow a business and everything else. Mm-hmm. So here you are as a brand new business owner, entrepreneur, and then there's all these other things that are not working. Yeah. Of course, you don't want somebody else pointing at you and saying, "Hey, you're not doing enough."
Man.
But that was almost like a defining moment for you as well, right?
It was, and I think it was. It also had me reflect too on the growth that I had made up to that point. As far as being able to recognize that it was constructive. You weren't telling me anything that wasn't true. I wasn't doing enough, and being able to actually, sit back and realize, like, he's right.
Yeah,
he's right. And like I said, initially, obviously, in the midst of the call, it was like, man,
who's this guy?
Who is this guy? But, afterwards being able to sit back and see, like,
and I've seen just amazing things. I'm sure, and it's not just one particular moment, right? It's like you decided to really just take full responsibility of how your life was at that particular moment, right. And certain things just weren't working. Mm-hmm. And it also takes a bigger person to do something about it, right? Not just quit on your marriage, not just quit in the business and go back to doing whatever you were doing before. Right. You decided to stand strong, even though, the visibility of prospects in the horizon wasn't even around. It's like, how do I build a business while I'm going through all this personal turmoil? But you decided to stand strong. And I've watched you from a distance, man, and even the personal conversations about how you've risen, not only as a husband, but as a father, leading your children, right? And with that, like something unique happened with your business. That also started exploding, right? And swelling. I like using the word swelling. It started swelling.
I wonder why.
It's just a little pump here and there. Yeah. But it's just amazing to watch, sitting back and just watching your growth and your journey, man. It's like an honor for me just to be able to witness it, And you're doing a lot of great stuff, but, building your business wasn't easy.
No, by any means, man. It definitely took some work, and it takes some work. I'm nowhere near nowhere near where I want to be, but I know I'm laying the bricks now. I'm laying the
strong foundation
strong
there.
foundation to.
You are, and you're realizing that it's always gonna come. Because you've also experienced success almost in a short period of time, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember, towards the beginning of the year, you had an influx of clients you were working with. Mm-hmm. And when you get an influx of clients you're working with, all of a sudden, your bank account looks a little different, right?
Yeah.
And that does something to a lot of us, which is it makes us comfortable, thinking we've arrived at a certain point. But we got to understand as business owners, like, it's temporary. It's not like you're working for a corporation and you get a promotion. That means that check's always going to come month after month, year after year. No. Yeah. It's like you hit this level of success, and it's like it could be gone next month. Yeah. So you experienced a little bit about that, right? Yeah. So tell us, because there's a lot of agents that listen to this podcast that are like, why am I going through these peaks and valleys? And what was your experience with that? Like getting that influx of cash, that influx of clients, and then what happened?
Well, it was that feeling of I've arrived. I made it.
Yeah. I worked hard.
I worked hard. I deserve, to take a day or two off, or I deserve to go here or spend more here, whatever, and at that time, you don't feel it at that time because you're at a high.
Yeah.
I got money in the account, things are good, but once that account starts to come down a little bit, you don't see as much movement going on, it starts to worry you a little bit, like what's going on. But it's like I said, I don't realize it in that moment, but the second that I took my foot off the pedal, I'm not going to feel it right then, but I will feel it in a month or two or down the line. And
what's unique about the consequences and rewards about this business is usually about 90 days out.
Yeah.
So you let off the gas pedal, like you said, for a few months there without realizing you did, right? Mm-hmm. Because we just look at the story, wow, there's no more, how come my clients is not coming up? My pipeline is kind of dried up. Yeah. But we don't look at the actions or inactions we stopped doing, right? And you went back and you went through this little lull for a couple months. Now, again, this is a rookie agent that is going to be a little over $6 million in sales this year. Also felt that pinch right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Of not seeing any prospects, but you decided to look at your actions. You decided to take full responsibility of what occurred.
Right.
And you made some massive changes. What did you do? I mean, it must have been a magic pill or something, right?
Absolutely not.
No magic pill?
I wish.
Dude, I'm telling you.
It's not.
People are believing that we have like a unicorn here that we rub its belly or something. It's not that, right?
Yeah, it's a do the work unicorn.
It's a do the work unicorn. You took full responsibility and said, hey, listen, I put myself here.
Yeah.
And once you did that, dude, like now you have like 7 deals in escrow.
Yeah.
Guys, like there's people that have been in this industry 10, 15 years that have never had 7 deals in escrow. And this is like commonplace here, right? And it's because, we realize we have certain responsibilities as business owners. And the problem is a lot of agents operate this place like it's a job or it's like a hobby.
Yeah.
And you understand that you have responsibility that comes with marketing, sales, systems, and leadership. Leadership, leading your clients, leading title companies, mortgage companies into getting the end result. And it's amazing to even see that because I saw when you were in that low. And in that place, sometimes you question yourself, right? Did you ever question yourself during that process?
I did, but again, this is where I seen the growth or the progress I've been able to make. I didn't allow it to really hold me down for too long.
Yeah.
Instead of easily just falling into a depression or just putting myself away and playing victim.
Yes.
I took action. Started getting back in it, putting in the work, reaching out to people. I said, basically I used it as fuel.
Yes.
And
because you said something very interesting in our pre-interview. Mm-hmm. You remember the feeling, right?
Yeah.
You were having a conversation with your dad, and tell me a little bit about that whole thing.
Yeah. So, my dad, we'll have conversations, like we'll call each other and, just kind of, I just kind of open up to each other a little bit.
Of course.
Talk about frustrations or anything like that. And, during this period, I'm telling him, like, man, like, I feel low. I feel like I'm not coming through for my family. I feel like a piece of crap, literally. Like, but you know what? I was like, I just keep telling myself over and over again. I wake up, go to work, but I keep telling myself, remember this feeling.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you didn't catch that, I think that's vital because I think we forget when we're in this place, in this pit, right? We're so focused on getting out of that pain that we don't sit in it.
Yeah.
and we don't process it,
Feel
right?
it.
And
You
feel it.
You need to feel it.
You need to feel it.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like when you have this success, you need to feel what it feels like, how you're operating in that place. But I love how you said that. It's like, I need to remember this.
Yeah.
And because you don't want to come back to this again.
No, absolutely not. It's not somewhere where I'm comfortable in. I notice other things around me start to be affected. When things aren't going as well, as far as on the business side, I can see, it might leak into other places. So
Yeah.
I don't want to put myself in that position anymore.
And and it's funny, and it's crazy how that works, man. I'm sure that when you let the gas pedal off your business, I'm sure you did the same thing in your marriage. I'm sure you did the same thing for your body and taking care of yourself. And it all bleeds into all other aspects of your life.
Yep.
Right? So I'm sure during that time, maybe there was some more disagreements at home.
Yeah.
I know I've been in the very dark place many, many times.
Yeah.
When I stop doing the right things, all of a sudden, it's like nothing's working.
Yeah.
But when you do the right things, everything works.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. So you're in this place. Like if somebody's that's hearing us right now is in that same place, like what kind of advice would you give them?
Like you said right now, let yourself feel what you're feeling right now.
Yes.
If you feel disappointed in yourself, you feel low, okay, accept it. But don't stay down. You got to get back up. You got to keep going, because you staying in one place in that little depressed mode, you're not gonna progress. You're not gonna go anywhere. Your best bet, okay, cool. This is where I'm at.
Yes.
Let's get to work.
I remember.
Do what you got to do to get yourself out of there.
Yeah.
There's always a way. We like to close ourselves off, and this is one thing I learned that I appreciate a lot about the industry that we're in, is that obviously you won't see checks right away.
Well,
So learning to be patient and just trusting the process, trusting that what you're doing every single day is going to pay off eventually, or it's going to pay down the line.
yeah, and that's the biggest, I think, issue with agents is the consistency aspect of
Yeah.
it, right? Because we are conditioned, that if certain hours are put in, you get paid after a week or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And in this industry, it could go months,
Yeah.
especially as you're starting out a business, and to go in it every day, right, with all the energy that it requires, with the ambition, with the drive that it requires, and not see any result for months on end. It's not made for all of us. Most people can't take it, and that's why 87% of agents. I think that's a Tom Ferry statistic. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I'm going to go ahead and use it because it's been thrown around so long. But 87% of agents will fail, and for you, and it's because they don't trust the process. They don't understand that it's consistency over time, not consistency for a week, not consistency for a month or a couple of months. It's like ongoing. It's part of who you are. It's part of what you do, and you just have to remind yourself of this.
That's really what it took. I had to literally lay it down and look and see, okay, when I was doing well this month, what was I doing? What was working well for me?
What was working, right?
Yeah, what was bringing me in and having me work in this powerful place that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look back, I could see, okay, I was doing this. And then when things started to go down, what wasn't I doing? Well, I wasn't doing that. So that's why the numbers went down.
So you become aware of your habits, your actions, your behaviors. But you know what most people do? I wonder what somebody else can do for me.
Yeah.
So they're looking for a savior.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're bouncing from brokerage to brokerage, from team to team, thinking somebody's got to figure it out. And the whole realization is like, you have it all figured out.
It's on you.
How about you just do the things that you say you're going to do? And let's just operate from that place, integrity, right? And once you're there, you'll be able to see a greater possibility. But if you can't even get there, you're just going to look around for a savior. Yeah. And that's exactly, and you didn't go down that path. You were like, okay, I just need to be aware. I'm going to feel this pain right now. Yeah. I'm going to wallow in it for a little bit.
I toyed with the idea a little bit. But you pulled me right back like, no, dude, you got it. And you were right. And I even talked about it with my wife. I'm like, do you think? She's like,
no.
You'll
toy with the idea of like doing things that wouldn't even be a conversation when you're doing the things you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Going to another brokerage or maybe joining a team or getting this, that, or the other, or getting out of the industry altogether.
Yeah. You're looking for a quick fix.
Yeah. And that wouldn't even be a thought if you were to do what you were supposed to do. Yep. So once you took yourself out of that mindset of like, what should I do? Who's going to save me? You went back to work.
Yep.
And a few months later, now you have 7 in escrow. Amazing. And here's the thing. It's so awesome because we just had a sales meeting. And, at the beginning of the year, you were like, I'm going to sell $3.5 million. Right? Yep. And then we had a sales meeting for the mid-year review. You're like, I'm already at 3.5 or really close to it. How about I go for 5, right?
Yeah.
Now you can just keep pushing the envelope because you're seeing the successes of all your actions. Mm-hmm. And now you're going to push, and we were just talking, it's going to be near the 7 pretty quick, but that's unreal. And those are the things that you have to go through, personal life, personal pains in business, right? For you to just like dig yourself out of that. Simply amazing, dude. What are some of the things that you actually do to build your business? For those that are listening to us, what works for you?
I mean, what's big is definitely, being able to put myself out there and let people know who I am. Yeah. Because I know the old traditional ways, sending out flyers, calling, and sound like that works too. But I think people really want to know who they're working with on a personal level, because they're always going to find something to relate and why they're going to feel comfortable working with you. So for me, being able to, put myself out there on social media and speak my experiences, whether if it's, things that we do as a family, things going on in the industry, trying to keep everyone informed, providing value to people's life on the professional side. And then just always reaching out to people and not being afraid to, get that no.
Right, exactly. So. You've become a master marketer. You're constantly out there putting your own messages out there. You share a lot of your personal life as well, right?
Yeah, try to.
Yeah, and it's like you're even going to open up that even more. Yeah. And you're getting your podcast up and running. You also have another podcast with one of our agents here.
Yeah, with Dallas Andrews.
Mm-hmm. And it's just awesome because we have to become master marketers. Yeah. We've got to be able to convey and communicate not only what we sell, but our personalities, right? It's absolutely. Your name, your face, your personality is what's gonna get clients to contact you. Yeah. And guess what? There's a lot of people out there that are watching and are like, man, I really like this Rudy guy. Like he's raw about his journey. Yeah. And man, I know there's a lot of details that we're missing out there as far as your personal journey, but you were in a dark place, man. You were in a dark place and you were able to like come out shining, right? Yeah. And of course, there's always it's not like you got it all figured out, right? But you know that doing the right things over time will allow you to figure things out. Yep. And that's just simply amazing, man. But there's a lot of agents that tune in, and I just want to ask you just on a personal note, like, what is the greatest value that you received here from A's and Associates, whether it's from me, from Carla, from the environment? What is the greatest value you've gotten here?
I think overall the reinforcement of mindset. A lot of places they'll try to really just pitch you on leads and the money. I mean that's only a part of the equation, not the most important part. If you're not able to keep everything balanced out, whether if it's with yourself, your mind, your body, your family, like. Everything else isn't going to sustain. It's not going to be sustainable. Right. And I think, having you and Carla and you guys being so open about your experiences and, being able to see like, okay, like the stuff that they're talking about is real. It's not sugar coated. And as long as I'm able to follow through and do this and do the work. Yes. It's going to pay off, so environment's big, who you surround yourself is big. And I think just being in the same vicinity as you guys alone is a huge benefit.
Have the things that we teach here, like, have you applied it to other aspects of your life? Like, has this been like just impactful in your business or?
No, and everything, and like in my marriage part, I mean, it's like any relationship, it's never perfect, but I definitely see where the growth has occurred. Yes, and that's all the encouragement I need to see that, that there's progress. Because a lot of people, if it's so quick, if we don't see immediate results, we just chalk it up as, it'll work, so whatever, keep it pushing. But no, I'll definitely see the growth on that, and I'm always working to continue to get better. I know I'm never gonna 100% make it, but I'm comfortable knowing that I'm gonna be a student of life for life and continued growth.
Yeah, because now you kind of tapped into that. It's like, I got to learn more about myself, my own behaviors. And we understand. We were talking about this earlier. It's like. It's no longer just impacting your lifetime. Yeah. It's like goes beyond that now, right? The changes that you're making and how you're showing up now is now impacting generations. Like you can significantly alter the thought process of your kids and their kids. That's how big this game is about, right? It's not just making these little small gains. It's about making just massive gains, not, like mentally. And it's amazing to be able to watch that. And I love seeing that, man. And now there's individuals right now that are stuck in that place, like where you were a few months ago. and they're just not in the right environment. And the reality is there's vast majority of environments that are just not right. What would you tell those individuals, if you don't mind, like if they've been looking at AZ and Associates but are on the fence, what would you tell those individuals?
I definitely say stop thinking about it and just do it. It was actually advice you gave me when I first got on. If you have a little voice telling you that you need to do something, just do it. Trust the process and understand that it's important where you put yourself. And if you want to get to a certain place in life, you got to surround yourself with the right people that are going to help you get there or that are already there. And it's a lot easier when you see the people leading actually doing everything that they're saying, because anyone could easily just tell you do this and that and walk out, and it's a completely different story.
I remember you telling me a story about that.
Yeah, that was like a deal breaker to me, because I can't have someone telling me to do something and I watch you and you're doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So you're leading by example, and that's big. So definitely if you're looking to get better in all aspects of your life, I definitely recommend coming here to AZ and Associates. Don't think about it too much. If you've already thought about it, it's because you want to be here already, so just make the move. Don't think twice.
I love it, man. I'm going to love it. I'm going to go ahead and syndicate that and put it on every advertising avenue out there, man. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. But the reality is we are, like, we understand, the rewards and the consequences that comes from not living in that place, powerful place, right? And we put our heart and soul into this, and it's because we've been there. And we continue to live this life and this journey, trying to become the people we know we were meant to be. And it's not about just regurgitating information or regurgitating what sounds good. It's about actually living it. And you'll realize that as soon as you step in through the doors. But Rudy, like you're becoming very successful. There's people that want to work with you. What can your clients expect from you, man? Like what kind of service do you provide, or what can they expect when they work with Rudy, Rodolfo, Flores?
Well, first of all, they got to establish what name they want to call me.
So you have to pick a big one.
So we can get that out of the way.
So you give them a multiple choice answer. It's like,
circle the name that you feel most comfortable calling me, and we'll go from there. Yeah. No. Just to let you know, it's just I hear stories about or experiences that they've had with other agents, and just so quick to just being shut down. And since this is already a process that sometimes scares people enough already, buying a home or selling a it's a scary thing. It's a big move. So when they work with somebody else and have a bad experience, whether they get turned down right away and give them that cold, oh no, we can't do anything, and then just break contact, that's discouraging. Yes. So I like to let people know, like, look, even if we don't get the result that we want right now, I'm here to put the work in with you. I'm here to guide you through the process. I've aligned myself with the right people, like-minded individuals, and we're going to make it happen. It might not be right now, but as long as you're willing to do the work, I got your back.
That's awesome, man. So you're very dedicated to this whole process, and it's about building relationships. And you're really good at that. That's like your gift there, right? Yeah. To really help guide individuals into getting the end result of either selling or buying. Mm-hmm. How can people contact you?
Call me or text me. Phone number is 623-776-5540. Follow me on Facebook, Rodolfo the Realtor, Twitter, Fito Flores 23, Instagram, FitoFlores.realtor.
Awesome.
I'm pretty much everywhere, man.
Yeah, you're everywhere. You got LinkedIn, you got MySpace, you got the whole 9 yards, man.
Yeah, if you can pull my MySpace, let me know. I want to see it.
You're going to see your little 16-year-old self there.
Man.
This guy's a young buck, man. 26 years old.
27.
27 now. Dude,
man.
you're getting older.
3 kids in. And
3 kids.
Yeah.
Unbelievable story, too, man. You met your wife really young and had kids young.
Yeah. We met her when I was 15 years old.
Wow.
Summer.
So that's not even high school, sweetheart. It's like, what was that? Like,
it is sophomore. It is high school.
Is it?
Yeah. It's
15? Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was
we were going into our sophomore year.
Okay, got it.
She was actually creeping on my MySpace.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she creeped on my MySpace.
She saw your flow on how.
Oh yeah, man. She liked the song that I had on my MySpace page, so that was I was like, I gotta sneak in her DMs now. And
DMs.
Yeah, man.
You were doing the DM before it became popular. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
So what are you excited about, man? I mean, we got all this great stuff. You got all this great stuff. You made some big moves. Mm-hmm. Things are looking up. What are you excited about?
I'm just honestly continued growth. I'm excited about the potential to impact as many lives as possible, not just in help them buy and sell a home. I think that God's purpose for me was to help impact people in many different ways.
Love it.
And build all these relationships and so just overall making an impact. And not just obviously my family. You know, that's I want to make a big impact on them, but everybody who I have the opportunity to cross paths with. And, you know, what I've seen so far, it's encouraging. And
it's amazing what you've been able to do here in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
And just imagine that compounding on itself year after year, 5 years down the road, 10 years ago. I mean, it just becomes I sometimes sit back, Rudy, and I'm looking at the stuff I was doing 5 years ago. I'm like, I'm blown away.
Yeah.
And,
and even that was
deposits.
something you told me too, man, just appreciating the growth. Because when I look back a year, like, yeah, I've seen a lot of growth. I'm not the same person. I know a lot of things have changed about myself. And I even told you at the beginning of the year at that meeting, I was like, dude, I'm going for Rookie of the Year. Yes. That's my goal. I want Rookie of the Year. Yep. And I haven't officially got it yet. But
there's people that are kind of nipping at you right now.
They're gunning for me, but
they're gunning for you.
I'm getting it.
You're getting it. And I love that conviction. Yeah. Well, Rudy, I want to thank you for being so raw, real in our conversation here today. As always, you know, we talk about real life with real people in real estate. And Rudy, I just want to thank you for coming on here. And I know you gave hope to those, and I know you gave hope to those that maybe are struggling at the moment in this game, because it is tough.
It is.
It is a business that will eat you up and spit you out, and not think twice about you. You know. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that you were able to stick with your convictions, and now you're realizing the great results there. So congratulations to you and what you're doing with your family. And for those of you that are looking to make a move, I'm gonna go ahead and encourage you to go to badassagents.com. Don't let the name discourage you, okay? Go to badassagents.com. Check out our information. Listen to our podcast. I also have a lot of content there that'll help you grow your business. And if it's something that's resonated with you, if you've been thinking about it, if our name even popped up in your mind, take action upon it. Go to badassagents.com and apply it, and I will personally meet with you. I will personally meet with you to determine if this place is right for you. And that's all it is. It's not a commitment. It's just simply a conversation. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Badass Agents Podcast, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great day.